Hello, I'm Refashionista Sheri, and clearly my dress is way too big for me. This was a case of seeing something online and you think, oh my God, that is so wonderful. It is perfect for me. I need to buy it. The price is okay. And yeah, then it comes and it's like you are playing dress up in someone's closet and you are a little tiny toddler. I did check the measurements so many times. I remeasured myself. I checked the measurements on the website. I thought, hey, this is going to be great. And yeah, no. And I'm not going to send it back because Canada Post is terrible and it would cost more money to send it back than the actual dress cost to begin with, so not worth it. But that means you guys get another downsizing tutorial, so it's all going to work out in the end, I hope. Now, it did come with a belt as well. So I'm going to see how I can incorporate this. I don't really wear fabric belts, but here, I can show you the pattern is just so cool. It is just like the coolest, except for this right here. This one right here, I do have a little bit of that, what is it called, tryptophobia, where when you see things that have a lot of holes in them, you kind of, it makes you, and your tummy goes a bit wonky. So I'm just going to avoid that, that particular print part of this, but let me know down below if you have that as well. And I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with this, so I think I'm going to do a poll and then let you guys decide if I should just downsize it and keep it as a dress, maybe make it into a romper. I have no idea. So I will put the poll up and we'll see what we're going to do. And you know what? I got something cool here. You know what time it is now. It's time to go down to the studio and get making. For this delightful downsizing project, all you need is your too big dress plus a shirt that fits you well to use as a template to downsize the dress, and of course, your sewing gear. Okay, you can see I have flipped my dress inside out and put my top on top of it. And I just marked a couple centimeters down from the bottom of the shirt onto my dress to create the area that I need to chop it so I can create my top and skirt. And luckily, it just happens to be between two of these decorative buttons on the front of the dress. All right, I have chopped the top from the bottom. Now, I was simply going to add an elastic waist casing to this and just create an adorable little skirt. But this is so much fabric here, this chopped bottom part. I think I might be able to make two different skirts out of it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And yeah, let's go see if I got enough fabric. Okay, look, like that is a lot of fabric. And so what I was doing was just kind of, I wrapped this around here, and how cute, that would make a cute little high-waisted skirt, but it really comfortably wraps all the way around my body with like an overlap back here. So there's definitely enough fabric here if I cut this in half to do two skirts. So I think the piece that has these kind of faux button placket on it here, this is just going to be a high-waisted skirt on its own. But the other piece, you may remember these jeans as the ones that I used for my inner thigh patching tutorial, and they've been patched like way too many times now, and they keep blowing out here in the bottom area. So I think it's time to refashion them into something else. But what I was thinking is how cute that would be to have that on the bottom. It's not, come on, hold up there nicely. Okay, to have that on the bottom of the jeans. And then I have two adorable yet different skirts. So let's go make those. Right, so I chopped my bottom piece as evenly in half as I possibly could, and let's work on the super easy one first. So the one here with the button placket, I'm just going to put the right sides together and then stitch those chopped open edges together, and then add a very simple, fold this down waistband casing, and then add my elastic waist, and it's going to be done. Too easy. And the first in this fantastic 3-for-1 tutorial is complete. It is absolutely adorable, this swingy, kicky little skirt. Now let's go make the next skirt. So I just realized that these are, yes, indeed, the jeans that I showed how to patch the inner thigh area, but also the ones where I showed how to fix torn belt loops. So I'll link that tutorial down below for you as well. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is lay your jeans flat, and then we're just gonna chop right under the pockets, leaving like a generous area for seam allowance. So I just put on the top of the jeans and held it up with the skirt bottom, and this top bit was just making it a very awkward length, so I've chopped that off, and I'm just going to stitch the ends of this open ruffle piece together, and then we'll stitch it onto the denim top. Okay, so because my interior pockets here are a little bit long, I've pulled them out just so there's no chance that I'm accidentally going to stitch them together here. Now I'm gonna flip this around so I have the back facing up, and grab my ruffled up tube here, and here is the seam where I just stitched the sides together, and I want this to match up with this back seam here. So I'm just going to flip that over top of my denim. So now I have the right sides facing, and I can easily match all of this up. And you know what's awesome? Because this is already gathered, I don't have to do any more pin tucks or gathering. I can simply line up my seams here and then go stitch it together. Okay, it's stitched on. Now the moment of truth. Oh my goodness, how adorable does that look? That came out perfectly. And I mean, what a great little way to salvage a destroyed pair of jeans and the rest of the skirt here. Yeah, now let's move on and finally get started creating that downsized top. Okay, I've never actually seen this kind of a sleeve before. So this is definitely the first time I am trying to work with this kind of sleeve. You can see it's attached like here across the chest and as well as across the back. So I think the easiest thing to do is to chop off one of the sleeves, and I'm just going to follow the line of the side seam here, and I'm just going to kind of create some armhole sleeve holes. So let's give that a try. So as you can see here, I have the first chopped sleeve and I've placed it on top of the other sleeve, and I'm just going to use it as a template to cut off my second sleeve. So now I'm left with something that kind of looks like a cap sleeve armhole area, but I definitely have to shrink this top because it is way too big for me. So I'm just going to center it here and grab my template shirt. Now the thing here that is a little bit confusing is there's no shoulder seams because of how those sleeves were put on. So I'm just kind of trying to line up the collars as best I can and using those seams as my center point. I chose this particular top, which, by the way, I will link down below to the tutorial for how I created this from a very, very tiny dress. So that'll be down below for you. But I chose this one specifically because it kind of bells out at the bottom here. So I can still keep that kind of A shape by using this as my template. So that is centered. So what I'm going to do is use this armhole here as the template and mark here for stitching straight down to shrink. Look, that much. That's a huge amount of the sides there. So I'm just going to pop a pin in there and then stitch straight down on both sides. Okay, so I have tried this chopped and stitched blouse on, and you guys, it actually worked. I actually made it small enough to fit me and created some awesome new armholes. Plus, I did go ahead and trim my chopped sleeves to the right length that I would need. And to do that, I just put this on and, you know, kind of held these sleeves up to where I thought they should be, and then I trimmed them. That's super, super simple. So now we can put the sleeves back onto this shrunken blouse. Okay, so I have one of my sleeves right side out, and I have my blouse part inside out, and I'm going to pop my sleeve into my groovy armhole that I created, like so. And I'm going to match up the underarm seam of the sleeve with the side seam of the blouse. And now clearly this sleeve is much, much wider than this armhole. So what am I going to do? Of course, I'm going to do my lovely little pin tucks all the way around. And as always, I shall link down below for you to show you how you can do pin tucks to gather fabric and also gather fabric with your machine. I have both of those, so enjoy. So I'm going to go pin tuck this all the way around, match it all up, and then stitch it together. And of course, do the other side. And my sleeves totally worked. My little pleats here are awesome. And the sleeves now have a little bit of a puff to them when I put them on, and it looks fantastic. So now we can finally finish this downsize. And because this fabric actually isn't really fraying, I mean, it's pretty much polyester, I think I'm just going to take this pretty bit of lace and bind up the edge here. And I shall, as always, link down below to my hem binding tutorial over on my blog. It is super simple, and it's the way I've always bound hems. So check that out. And then once this is done, we're going to try everything on and style it all up. So I just thought I would show you a close-up of how the bottom came out. And I did actually end up having to remove this button and stitch it back on because my lace, you know, was a little bit too high there, but whatever, I think it came out so cute. Now we can finally go try everything on and style it all up. And another triumph of Refashionista know-how. I'm thinking so. Anyway, I now have a blouse that fits me absolutely how I wanted it to. I didn't want to take in the sides too much because I still wanted it to be kind of loose and easy breezy, but look at how great the sleeves came out. I have like a drop shoulder, it's pleated, it's puffy, it's just a perfection. And of course, I mean, the little kicky skirt, easy peasy, and a second little kicky skirt because, yay, I mean, what a way to use the excess fabric, right? Like, so, so simple. And as always, let me know down below what you think. If you're gonna do this yourself to a dress that you have that you maybe got and found that it was a lot bigger than you thought it was going to be. Oh, also, do let me know if you think that I should wear this belted or not, because I'm not sure if it's just if it's like a bit too much with the belt. I don't know. You let me know down below what you think. And yeah, sorry guys, there's no troll time today because once again, this tutorial took me longer than I expected, and so I don't have time to do a troll time and get all this edited and everything and ready to post for you on Friday. Yeah, it usually takes me about minimum 3 days to do a video, like 3 full days. So this took longer than that. So I gotta go get editing right now. And so until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Mwah!
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.